First, I'd like to tell you about my journey from being a meat eater to a vegetarian to becoming a plant-based eater. I remember once upon a time I would indulge myself, of course, in chicken, in beef, and even in other delicacies, going to the buffet and eating squid and clam and so on and so forth. The problem with my eating habits back then is I was very uneducated. Now, I do say now that I am a Christian, and ever since I became a Christian, I've actually learned some health principles that have helped me to enhance my life as a Christian and as a person. Right now, I stand with you today. I'm about 31 years old, and I've been able to use the counsels on diet and ministry of healing to help myself to maintain a certain weight and maintain a certain body build because of what I've incorporated and I've learned in living the lifestyle that these books teach. Now, without further ado, I'd like to go a little bit more into my experience. I was afraid of losing weight. In fact, when I was about 18 years old, I weighed about 190 pounds. And so I said I wanted to build muscle, and I wanted to be a little leaner at the same time. So what I thought to myself is, being a vegetarian would not be such a good idea. But after doing a little bit of research regarding vegetarianism and the encouragement I received from the research I've done, I became vegetarian. And I started to lose weight. But then, as I discovered many different types of natural foods that I can eat to help myself to gain weight and to build muscle, I started to indulge in those foods. Foods like broccoli and almonds and certain wheat pastas or wheat products and so on and so forth helped me to maintain my weight. But at the same time, I was still getting a little fat. Getting a little fat storage in my stomach area, and I wasn't too happy about that. And of course, because I was still indulging in dairy products, I was having a lot of allergic reactions. I was not feeling my best. And so, through prayer and encouragement, God inspired me to take it a step further, and I became a vegetarian. So I became a plant-based eater, or they would call it vegan. And through that, I reaped many benefits, including a closer walk with God, based on the clarity of my thoughts, because my mind was clear. Now, apart from that, I noticed that it was very easy for me to lose weight. So I had to do some more research on how I can maintain a nice build and be able to be fit at the same time. But what I found out is that even though I was eating a vegan or a plant-based diet with some processed food like rice and beans and other things that I could eat, I was still gaining weight as a plant-based eater, which is kind of cool because a lot of people say that when you become a vegan or a vegetarian, you lose too much weight and you look anorexic, which is not true. And so I started to research more, and I thought to myself, I'm actually beginning to have a little gut, a little stomach. And so I said, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and work out, and I'm going to implement some things I've learned in research, like a master cleanse. I've learned about juicing, which I will talk about in a little bit. I've learned about ways you can exercise, ways you can eat to lose weight specifically. So, this is just a short tidbit about my experience with health and losing weight. God also inspired me about methods like fasting. And the other methods that people in the world do to lose weight is called intermittent fasting. I believe fasting is important because fasting not only treats the body but also treats the mind spiritually. The body was not made to eat all the time. The body was meant to have moments of periodic fasting, sometimes 3 days, sometimes 10 days, sometimes even 20 days of fasting, to relieve the body of the toxins that was ingested through the food, and also to connect the mind to, of course, God, the Heavenly Creator. Now, I'd like to talk about some things with you, about this fast